whispered by the ancient sages and encoded within the fabric of reality itself, are 7 laws studied by Hermes Trismegistus, compiled in an ancestral text known as the Kalion. Hermes is often considered a wise sage who bridges the gap between divine and mortal knowledge. He is purported to have originated from ancient Egypt, blending Greek and Egyptian wisdom, thereby creating a foundation for what would later be known as Hermeticism. According to Hermetic belief, Hermes Trismegistus received divine revelations and inscribed them into texts. The Kalion contains these 7 laws, which reveal the profound mysteries of existence and the cosmos. One of the most powerful of these laws is so groundbreaking that even advanced spiritualists refrain from dwelling on it for too long. But if mastered, these 7 laws will allow you to see the universe as it is, a secret only known to a select few advanced individuals. Ready to become part of that circle? Then it's time to dive into the depths of the Kalion. The first of its laws redefines the universe as we see it, proposing it as a manifestation of the mind, the principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental, was the original maxim uttered by Hermes Trismegistus himself. This means that for anything to be, a thought must precede it. Just as a painter wields a brush to create a masterpiece, so too does the universal mind shape and mold reality according to its will. In understanding this principle, we come to realize that our thoughts are the building blocks of our reality, and that by mastering our minds, we can wield the power of creation itself. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of the mind, we come to understand that our thoughts are not mere fleeting whims, but rather the building blocks of our reality. Every thought we think, every emotion we feel, sends ripples through the fabric of existence, shaping the world around us in ways both seen and unseen. Consider the initial thought that led you to be able to read these words, whether it was a curiosity about the universe's mysteries or a longing for spiritual enlightenment. That single thought, born in the depths of your consciousness, set into motion a series of events that ultimately brought you here, to this moment, reading these words on your device. Reflect for a moment on the thought that is most influencing your mood right now. Perhaps it's a lingering worry, a burst of inspiration, or a sense of peace and contentment. Whatever it may be, that thought has the power to shape your perception of reality and influence the way you experience the world around you. But what if we could learn to harness the power of our thoughts to steer the course of our lives with intention and purpose? What if we could train our minds to become masters of our destiny, guiding us toward a future filled with abundance, fulfillment, and joy? This is where spiritual practices such as meditation come into play. Through the practice of meditation, we learn to quiet the restless chatter of the mind and attune ourselves to the stillness that lies at the heart of our being. In the silence between thoughts, we discover a profound sense of peace and clarity, allowing us to see beyond the illusions of the ego and connect with the infinite wisdom of the universe. The principle of mentalism invites us to explore the depths of our consciousness and unlock the hidden potential within. It challenges us to question the nature of reality and to recognize the power that lies dormant within each and every one of us. Embark on a journey of self-discovery to explore the vast expanse of your consciousness and unlock the infinite potential that lies within. In embracing the principle of mentalism, we unlock the key to the secrets of the universe and become masters of our destiny. No longer slaves to the whims of the mind, we become masters of our inner world, able to navigate the ever-changing landscape of our consciousness with grace and ease. Even more complex than the principle of mentalism is the second one, known as the principle of correspondence. Have you ever heard the phrase, "as above, so below"? That maxim summarizes the principle of correspondence very well. Consider the ancient symbol of the yin and yang, representing the eternal interplay of opposites. Light and darkness, masculine and feminine, creation and destruction. In this symbol lies the wisdom of correspondence, that every aspect of the universe is mirrored in every other aspect, creating a seamless web of interconnectedness that spans the breadth of existence. Let's delve into the wisdom of a philosopher from the 17th century, René Descartes, a French thinker known for his exploration of the relationship between the mind and the body. Descartes pondered the nature of reality and posited the idea of dualism, suggesting that the mind and body are separate entities that interact with each other. His philosophical musings offer insight into the principle of correspondence, highlighting the interconnectedness between the physical and the metaphysical realms. But the principle of correspondence extends beyond the realm of the physical world, reaching into the depths of our consciousness. Just as the stars above mirror the patterns of the cosmos, so too do the thoughts and emotions within us reflect the greater truths of the universe. Living in alignment with the principle of correspondence means being mindful of the energy we're putting out into the world and how it's being reflected back to us. It's about taking responsibility for our thoughts, emotions, and actions, knowing that we are co-creators of our reality. Reflect for a moment on the cycles of your own life, the ebb and flow of joy and sorrow, the rhythms of birth and death, the constant flux of change. In these cycles lies the truth of correspondence, reminding us that we are not separate from the one, but rather integral parts of its vast and interconnected whole. When we live in harmony with the universe, we feel a sense of peace and contentment that transcends external circumstances. We understand that everything is connected and that we are part of something greater than ourselves. In this way, the principle of correspondence becomes a guiding light on our journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth. It reminds us that we are not passive bystanders in the unfolding drama of life, but active participants who have the power to shape our destiny. Now that we've learned the first two, the third one is next in line, a principle that could explain what many call the Big Bang, the birth of all energy as we know it, the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, and everything vibrates. The principle of vibration, as grasped by the ancient Egyptians, explains that everything, from matter and energy to mind and spirit, differs mainly because of how fast they vibrate. Spirit vibrates incredibly fast, almost still, like a spinning wheel that looks motionless. On the other hand, some forms of matter vibrate so slowly they seem still. Between these extremes, there are countless levels of vibration. Think of the concept of resonance. When two objects vibrate at the same frequency, they amplify each other's vibrations, creating a powerful energetic resonance. Similarly, when we align our thoughts and emotions with our highest intentions, we resonate with the frequencies of abundance, joy, and love, attracting experiences that reflect our inner harmony. The principle of vibration helps us understand the workings of energy in our universe. Energy in its various forms is constantly vibrating at different rates. For instance, light travels in waves, with different colors corresponding to different frequencies of vibration. Similarly, sound is also a form of energy that travels in waves, with pitch determined by the frequency of vibration. But the principle of vibration extends beyond the physical realm, reaching into the depths of our own consciousness. Just as the universe vibrates with energy, so too do our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Every thought we think and every emotion we feel sends out energetic vibrations that resonate with the world around us. This idea echoes the thoughts of the philosopher Baruch Spinoza, who explored the nature of existence and the interconnectedness of the universe. Spinoza posited that everything in the universe is made of the same substance, which he called God or nature, suggesting a profound unity among all things. According to Spinoza, this substance has an infinite number of attributes, of which humans can perceive only thought and extension. In a similar vein, the principle of vibration implies that all aspects of reality are just different expressions of the same underlying energy vibrating at various frequencies. Spinoza's philosophy supports the notion that by understanding the fundamental vibrations of nature, we can align ourselves more closely with the universe. He believed in the power of rational understanding to improve human life, suggesting that knowledge of our true nature, our alignment with the universe, can lead to supreme satisfaction and happiness. This aligns with the concept of resonance in the principle of vibration, where understanding and aligning our vibrations with those of the universe can lead to a harmonious and fulfilling existence. But of all the laws we've seen today, the most complex one is, by far, the fourth one. It's a law that dictates why nuances exist in everything in the universe, which can be confusing if your mind isn't sharpened enough to withstand the information. We're talking about the principle of polarity. The principle of polarity states that everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. From the Taoist concept of yin and yang to the Hindu notion of Shiva and Shakti, we see echoes of this fundamental truth across cultures and epochs. Light and darkness, day and night. These are but a few manifestations of the eternal dance of polarity. It is the interplay of these opposites that gives rise to the rich canvas of life, imbuing it with depth, contrast, and meaning. Consider the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus, who famously declared that the path up and down are the same. In this simple yet profound statement, Heraclitus captured the essence of polarity, the idea that opposites are not separate, but rather interconnected and inseparable. In the Christian tradition, we encounter the concept of redemption through suffering, the idea that hardship and adversity can lead to spiritual growth and enlightenment. Just as the crucible transforms raw ore into pure gold, so too can our trials and tribulations purify the soul and elevate us to higher states of consciousness. Throughout history, sages, mystics, and philosophers alike have pondered the mysteries of polarity, seeking to unravel its secrets and glean wisdom from its timeless teachings. Yet for all our intellectual pursuits, the true nature of polarity eludes easy explanation, for it is not something that can be grasped with the mind alone. In the words of the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, the Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. Likewise, the principle of polarity transcends words and concepts, existing beyond the realm of language and thought. It is a truth that must be felt in the depths of our being, experienced firsthand through the crucible of lived experience. In the face of adversity, it is all too easy to succumb to the seductive allure of lower vibrational emotions: anger, fear, jealousy. Yet in embracing the principle of polarity, we are called to rise above these impulses, to recognize them for what they truly are, fleeting manifestations of our egoic mind. Instead of allowing ourselves to be consumed by negativity, can we learn to observe our emotions with detachment, acknowledging their presence without being swept away by their force? Can we cultivate the inner strength to transform our suffering into wisdom, our pain into compassion? Only then will we reach greater heights. And not too far away from the principle of polarity is the fifth law, which dictates how everything is interconnected. Everything is coordinated by a rhythm. But how can we know this is true if we're unable to see it? Only by opening our eyes, as we'll now learn. How can we understand the principle of rhythm? The principle of rhythm states that everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. Closely intertwined with the principle of polarity is the profound insight encapsulated within the fifth principle, the inherent rhythm that exists between opposing poles. Like the ebb and flow of the tide, the rise and fall of our breath. Everything in the universe moves in a rhythmic dance of perpetual motion. Consider for a moment the natural world around us. In the cycle of the seasons, we witness the earth awakening from the slumber of winter, bursting forth with new life in the springtime, reaching its peak abundance in the summer, and finally surrendering to the quietude of autumn before the cycle begins anew. Each season carries with it its unique rhythm and energy, guiding the growth and evolution of all living beings. And so too do we find these rhythms mirrored within ourselves. Our lives are punctuated by cycles of growth and transformation, periods of expansion and contraction, joy and sorrow. In the depths of winter, we may find ourselves drawn inward, reflecting on the lessons of the past and preparing for the rebirth that awaits us in the spring. In the fullness of summer, we revel in the warmth of the sun, basking in the abundance of life's blessings. And in the waning days of autumn, we surrender to the inevitability of change, trusting in the wisdom of the universe to guide us through the dark night of the soul. Instead of resisting the ebb and flow of existence, we learn to embrace it, trusting in the inherent intelligence of the universe to guide us on our journey. Just as a sailor learns to navigate the winds and currents of the sea, so too can we learn to navigate the currents of our own lives, adjusting our sails to catch the gentle breezes of opportunity and weathering the storms with courage and resilience. But how do we apply this principle in our lives? It is well to remember that nothing is eternal. Rather, all things are in a perpetual state of flux and transformation. Embracing this law invites a deeper understanding of the transient nature of existence and empowers individuals to navigate life's fluctuations with greater ease. We're almost ready to learn the two deepest secrets of the universe. The two following laws dictate some of the biggest truths mankind has ever known. Ready to learn what they are? Let's begin with one of the most studied universal laws ever proposed, the principle of cause and effect. The principle of cause and effect states that nothing occurs in isolation. At its core, the principle emphasizes the interconnected nature of reality. Every event, whether seemingly insignificant or monumental, is intricately linked to a chain of preceding causes and subsequent effects. This interconnectedness extends beyond the confines of time and space, transcending individual moments to form a continuous and unbroken stream of causation. While this concept can be easily grasped with little thought, it becomes more complicated when we discover a non-implicit truth about it. We are unable to control or predict most of the outcomes of our actions. While we might think we can control an outcome, chances are that we can only influence it at best. According to Eastern belief, the concept of wu-wei or non-action aligns closely with the principle of cause and effect. Rather than striving to control or manipulate external circumstances, wu-wei encourages individuals to flow with the natural rhythms of life, allowing events to unfold organically without unnecessary interference. This approach embodies the understanding that every action has its consequences, and that by aligning oneself with the Tao or the Way, one can navigate the complexities of existence with greater ease and grace. What we can control are our thoughts and how they influence the rest of our life. As we delve deeper into the principle of cause and effect, it prompts us to reflect on our role in the grand scheme of existence. Are we mere passive recipients of external forces, swept along by the currents of circumstance? Or do we possess the agency and power to shape our own destinies, influencing the course of events through our thoughts, words, and actions? Now, the reason why the final law needs so much preparation to be understood is that it encompasses absolutely every facet of life. Yet most people are unable to see past the evidence. It's the elusive, enigmatic finale of the 7 laws that govern the universe. The principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. The final law as stated by Hermes Trismegistus. Easy to understand for animals and humans, but how can you apply masculine or feminine principles to something as inanimate as a star, a cloud, or a sea breeze? But here's the twist. The principle of gender extends far beyond the realm of biological sex or societal gender roles. It encompasses the interplay of opposites, light and dark, yin and yang, expansion and contraction that underpin the duality of existence. It is the cosmic dance of creation and destruction, the rhythm of birth and death, the eternal cycle of renewal and transformation. So why is it so challenging to wrap our minds around this cosmic conundrum? Well, dear reader, it's because the principle of gender transcends the limitations of our linear thinking and egoic understanding. It defies our attempts to neatly categorize and compartmentalize the ineffable mysteries of the universe. But here's the kicker. It's not about one energy dominating the other. True mastery lies in achieving a harmonious balance between the two, a delicate equilibrium that allows for the free flow of creative energy and the expression of our highest potential. When one attains this balance, one becomes a veritable alchemist of the soul, harnessing the power of both polarities to manifest their deepest desires and aspirations. But perhaps it is in the mystic teachings of the Sufis that we find the most profound insights into the principle of gender. In the mystical poetry of Rumi and Hafiz, we glimpse the transcendent beauty of the divine union, the merging of the lover and the beloved, the seeker and the sought, in the eternal dance of ecstatic existence. Acceptance is the first step on the path to self-mastery, the recognition and acknowledgement of all parts of ourselves, both light and shadow. In the words of the Buddha, it is the middle way, the balance of masculine and feminine, of earthly and celestial, of mind, body, and spirit that leads to true enlightenment. But fear not, dear seeker, for the journey to mastery is not one of haste but of patience and perseverance. These principles run deep, woven into the very fabric of our existence, and it may take a lifetime or even lifetimes to fully understand and embody their profound truths.